Happy Saturday. So what are we talking about today? Well, first of all, we're talking about how late it is. Once again, another late video. Sorry, get another light. Another late video. Today was even crazier than yesterday. But not for nothing today. I actually feel good because I did put on my Christmas lights, even though they don't work right now because I have a missing piece that I have to collect. But other than that, I've been at home cleaning driveways, networking with neighbors. What else did we do today? Well, actually, I wasn't networking with neighbors today. Anna was networking with my neighbor. But I was just a part of it. I trimmed my trees, my bushes. I had to clean the garage because the dog peed in the garage. So, a lot of crazy stuff. But all in all, I would just say it was a really busy afternoon. So, no daytime video once again. So, here we are. But on a serious note, here to talk about creating as opposed to consuming. So what are we talking about? I think I talked about this in my first couple videos, but I'm going to talk about it more extensively today. Do you find it funny as consumers that we're super hyper engaged into everybody else's business? And I'm talking about in everything. I'm talking about fitness, your wealth, your well-being, your mental health, your music, entertainment choices. I would say practically 98% of your life is being you giving yourself to everybody else as opposed to not giving enough to yourself. Because I talked about this yesterday about being obsessive, and I said with being obsessive, it was a matter of doing something that catered to your dream every day. Well, what I'm finding is that we definitely give more of ourselves to other people. We put ourselves in other people's business. We put ourselves in other people's brands. We do all this stuff, and we don't do enough creating. You imagine if everybody was on their shit and they was creating as opposed to consuming. I think we all be millionaires, but that's the thing. If we were all millionaires, who'd be, I guess, well, we would be buying other people's stuff probably still, but then if everybody had the attitude that I'm thinking, you probably wouldn't be buying a lot of people's stuff. You'd be buying your own stuff, and a lot of people would be going bankrupt. But I just have to say is like, for as much as we consume, we have to create. I'm really am, like I kind of said this, I might have said this in another video about, what would I do or what should we do if we just pretended our phones didn't exist for a day or a couple hours or whatever, just gave more of our attention to other things as opposed to our phones and what's going on in the world and, tapping into social media. You imagine if we created is just as much as we consume, we'd be some bad motherfuckers out here. So yeah, I just know I have a problem. I'll admit that. That's one of my other addictions is YouTube. YouTube is a hyper sensitive area for me because I work on it as this, but I'm super engaged into I'm a consumer. I consume a lot of information on a daily basis, and then I have my little stuff that I like listening to, as far as like podcasts, certain programs. Like to watch reactions and reviews. I apologize for yawning. But you just imagine if we gave our all into our own stuff and we were committed more to ourselves. Kind of like I said yesterday. We're so committed to the cause of other people. You know, we're committed to alarm clocks. We're committed to a job, sick, tired, broken, dealing with, grieving, dealing with death or anything. We're all tapped in for work. But do we do this like we get sleepy, we get tired, we get a little uncomfortable with our dreams, and we're like done. We check out. So it's almost like you have to do something that you love so much that it doesn't even feel like work. And right now with this content creation for me, it don't even feel like work. It don't. And it's not that I can say I completely enjoy it, because here's the thing. I guess I would love to be the type of person that I could do these videos and see the instant reaction to what people are saying right off the top. But I don't get it as fast as I would like to see it. And not to mention, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I always tend to watch my stuff. Well, I haven't actually, to be honest with you, because this is what, video 15, 16. I ain't watched none of these videos. I watched them prior to me posting them, but I haven't watched them, obviously in, their YouTube format, to see how it looks. But I guess, oh God, I lost my point. I'm sorry. I might be slightly tired. I'll come back to that. I don't want to sit here and have you guys on a blink. But anyway, I just feel like we give all our energy to consuming as opposed to creating. And I was saying this yesterday, that usually when I don't create a video, like if I miss a day, I usually create double. I also feel like the more I consume, I feel like I should create more. So if I have a day where I'm just soaking in all this information, I need to be able to spew it back, because I think it's just real silly that we would, be giving everybody all our energy and we not return the favor and, commit ourselves. The minute, like I said, the minute we're sick, the minute we're tired, we check out our dreams. And so we don't even do anything to better ourselves on a daily basis. And I feel like that's unfair. You go to work tired as shit, you go to work sick as a dog, but then it's time to sit down and get popping with your dream. You're like, I'm too tired, or I don't have the time, or whatever. You make time for work, you make time, you deal with work when you're sick. Why don't you make time for your own dreams? So with this, I think I might know what I was gonna say, but I said with this doesn't feel like work. I guess the only piece of it that, where it does feel like work is the actual posting aspect of it. And then when I guess, sit there and kind of like have to come up with, a good title, and have to make sure everything lines up, and, with the, like the thumbnail and all of that stuff. That stuff, I mean, and that doesn't bother me too much, because I'm a graphic designer. So with that being said, I don't mind like doing that part of my videos and stuff. But I guess it feels like work only when I have to think about how people are perceiving. I should have rolled my window. I'm sorry, I'm at a QT right now, so it's kind of noisy. Got a guy pulling up right now in this truck. Okay. So anyway, I should go roll my window up. I'm sorry. Hold up. I apologize in advance. Or yeah, that was very loud. I'm sorry. But it's raw confessions. I'm not editing anything either. So like I said, so I'm at 10 minutes, so I'm gonna just wrap this up. So what I'm getting at is do something that don't feel like work. Do something that feels like you're just having a moment for yourself. For me, this is like a moment for myself. I guess the only piece of it that makes me feel like it's work is, like I said, the whole putting everything together and posting it. And then I guess because I'm such a perfectionist, kind of like like at work, I just want to see the result and make sure that everything lines up. Now, I will say that the minute I start getting into that too much, I think it's going to start feeling like too much like work. And I'm going to that's when the burnout's going to come in. So I'm going to try not to think about it too much. I'm going to just keep doing these videos. I'm not going to, because right now, I guess like me posting this late makes me feel weird because it's like, damn, I've been doing pretty good at having daytime videos where I'm not sitting here in a semi-dark car recording. I like to think that I would rather be giving you guys this information in the middle of the day where, you guys could see me a little bit better. And, I didn't even mind when I used to do my little walks. I haven't been doing those lately, but I'll get back to it. But what I will tell you is that this is easy for me because I don't mind talking. I guess the talking aspect of it is that I have to make sure my message is clear. So that part of the game is just making sure that, even though it's something that's I'm passionate about and something that's easy, I have to make sure I'm getting my point, to you guys clear and concise, and make sure that you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. So just a summary and a recap. Just make sure that you give yourself enough of yourself and your own time, because if you just sit up and consume, by the end of the day, you're looking at it like, damn, I gave all my energy, all my time to my favorite podcast, my favorite TV show, my favorite movie, my favorite radio station, my favorite book, my favorite. You go to your job, you do the work, you wear all these fancy name brands. Do something for yourself. Be your own brand. That's where I really want to get out. It's just be your own brand. Be a part of yourself. Everybody want Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Is like, what about Terrell? I mean, not me, but I'm just saying Terrell. Why not Terrell? Why not Marshall something? That's my last name. Why not? Why not you? Why not make a movie about you and your life and what you've been through? Why not make a show about you and what you've been through? Why not write a book about you and consume information from yourself? So that's all I really want to get out there. Stop consuming, start creating. It's really that simple. I mean, I don't mind giving my energy to other people's brands and stuff, but I even wrote it in a poem, and I'll share these things. The poem part I'm really going to share with you guys, but I just feel like by the time you're done giving everybody all of yourself, you know, it's almost like you're neglecting yourself, and but then everybody's selfish. Everybody's out here stepping on each other's toes and trying to, like, oh, they always got something to say about somebody. But it's like, well, you're saying something about somebody, you in everybody else's business, but you're not minding your own. You're not taking care of you and your own and stuff. So just be mindful that you're doing something for yourself and that you're not just giving all your energy to somebody else and their stuff. But that's it. 15 minutes in. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Be safe. And I'm out. Peace.